Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Alhamdulillah, assalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah. Thanks to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala by reciting Alhamdulillah and salawat wa salam to Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam by reciting Allahumma salli ala Sayyidina Muhammad wa ala ali Sayyidina Muhammad. And thanks to Mr. Wardi MED as our lecturer of research and development in ELT. Okay, my name is Harun Al Rasyid. Now I will presenting about case studies. Case studies are one of the research method in the social science. In the research using this method, an in-depth longitudinal examination of a situation or even called a case is carried out using systematic methods of observing, collecting data, analyzing information, and reporting the results. As a result, you will gain a deep understanding of why something happens and can form the basis for further research. Case studies can be used to generate and test hypotheses. In the book Research Method in Education by Louis Cohen, Lawrence Mannion, and Kate Morrison, case studies will have temporal characteristics which help to define their nature, have a geographical parameters allowing for their definition, will have boundaries which allow for definition, may be defined by an individual in a particular context at a point in time, may be defined by the characteristic of the group, may be defined by role or function, may be shaped by organizational or institutional arrangement. In this book, there is a fact of case study. This is not to say that case studies are unsystematic or merely illustrative. Case study data are gathered systematically and rigorously. Types of case studies in 1984 identifies three such types in terms of their outcomes. First, exploratory, second, descriptive, and the last, explanatory. Okay, there are 7 strains of case studies. We can see at this slide. First, the results are more easily understood and then immediately intelligible, and then catch unique features, and then strong on reality, and then provide insight into other similar situation and case, and then be undertaken by a single researchers without needing a few researchers team, and the last can emerge and build in anticipated even or uncontrolled variables. Okay, next slide. 3 weaknesses of case studies. First, the results may not be generalizable, except where other readers or researchers see their application. And second, they are not easily open to cross-checking, hence they may be selective, biased, personal, and subjective. And the last, they are prone to problems of observer bias despite attempts meant to address reflexivity. Okay, next slide. Two principal types of observation. First, participant observation, and then non-participant of participation. Okay, next slide. How the participant observation techniques assist the researchers in this task. First, observation studies are superior to experiments and surveys when data are being collected on nonverbal behavior. And then, second, in observation studies, investigators are able to discern ongoing behavior as it occurs and are able to make appropriate notes about its salient features. And the third, because case study observation take place over an extended period of time, researchers can develop more intimate and informal relationships with those they are observing, generally in more natural environments than those in which experiments and surveys are conducted. Fourth, case study observation are less reactive than other types of data gathering method. For example, in laboratory-based experiments and in surveys that deepen upon verbal response to structured question, bias can be introduced in the very data that researchers are attempting to study. Next slide, how to make recording of observation. Loveland, 1971, give a number of useful suggestions about collecting field notes. First, record the notes as quickly, and then discipline yourself to write notes quickly, and then dictating rather than writing is acceptable if one can avoid it. We can see at this slide. And then typing field notes is vastly preferable to handwriting because it is faster and easier to read, especially when making multiply copies. And then it is advisable to make at least 2 copies of field notes and preferable to type on a master for reproduction. One original copy is retained for reference, and other copies can be used as a draft to be cut up, reorganized, and rewritten. And the last, the notes ought to be full enough adequately to summon up for one again months later reasonable vivid pictures of any described event. This probably means that one ought to be writing up at the very minimum at least a couple of single-spaced type page for every hour of observation. Okay, next slide. Planning of case studies. We can see at this slide the particular circumstance of the case, and the second, the conduct of the study, and then the consequence of the research. Okay, next slide, writing up case study. First, step suspense structures, and then narrative report, and then comparative structures, and then unsequenced structures, and then theory generating structure, and the last chronological structure by Robson, 2002. Dan ini ada sedikit quotes. Penelitian yang baik adalah penelitian yang diselesaikan. I think that's all. Sorry for my mistakes and my weakness. Akhirul kalam, telah say assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.